Crafters, we hope all of you are doing well. I would like to welcome all of you to this video about the latest board game that just got released this month. Ace of Spades BD and Crafts joined force one more time to create the third board game, The Upside Down. And mind you, this game is twisted. For those who don't know, Crafts and Ace of Spades BD have been collaborating since 2018, creating 3 board games thus far. The first one being Hogwarts-themed Snake and Ladder, while the second one being Friends-themed The Race to Central Park. While Hogwarts-themed Snake and Ladder is much more oriented to the lucks of the players as a game of Snake and Ladder usually goes by, The Race to Central Park is a much more strategic one, with the introduction to coins, which can shape up the game to a whole new level. The Upside Down, on the other hand, is much more twisted and strategic than it seems, and we'll tell you why. At the first glance, the game might seem complicated, but once you got all the basics covered, you'll really start to understand the strategies you might be able to execute on this board game. The Upside Down is the first generic board game that has been created by Crafts and Ace of Spades BD. It's not based on a particular book, TV series, or movie, rather it is inspired on the concept of the other dimension, a dimension we believe to be dark and spooky than the dimension we are in right now. The main objective of this board game is to get out of this other dark dimension. The first one to does that wins, while the rest dies, of course. I will start by discussing the contents of the board game. As we can see, there is the board game that shows the dark dimension where the game will be played. A dice, a wild card, a total of 12 playing pieces, 12 superpower cards, the storyline, and the manual. Do not skip through the manual or the storyline, as it is of utmost importance to go through every details of the game. Let me try and cover as much as I can do in this video. There are 3 types of games that you can play in this board game. First one being beginning to end, second one being end to beginning, and the third one being white versus red. Say, you chose to play the beginning to end game. It is highly recommended to have at least 3 or more players to get the full blast of this game. Once the players are ready, they are to select the gaming pieces. White ones in this case, since we are playing a beginning to end. Next, each of these players will randomly select a superpower card and keep it to themselves. These superpower cards are vital for each player and can go on to shape up the whole game. Be it undoing winning moves, eating up players, immunity to monsters for selected times, etc. These are extremely handy, but it comes with a catch. You cannot disclose your powers to anybody until you are actually using it for the first time. If you disclose it by mistake before you are using it, the superpower card will be taken away from you after a voting is done by the players. Alright, now that you have picked your gaming piece and randomly selected your power card and have seen your power for the game, it is time to roll the dice. If a player rolls a 3, then the player will place the gaming piece on the tile of beginning, since it is a beginning to end gameplay we are demonstrating here. Then on the next move the player gets, he or she can roll the dice and move ahead. There is no rule of players eating other players unless you have the superpower for it. Okay, so what do we have here? We see a couple of monsters, the red monster and the killer monster. The red monster, if you step on it, will send you 5 steps backwards, while the killer monster, well, it is ruthless. It will send you right at the start tile you stepped on, so you better watch out. Of course, you can dodge these monsters if you have the superpower to be immune from them once or multiple times, so in that case, you are lucky. Though keep in mind, you choose when you want to be immune from it, so that you save it for the best possible time. Now, there are 2 different types of wormholes. White wormholes that you will encounter a lot in this game, and there is only one super wormhole. If you step on a white wormhole, you have to try the wild card. It really is wild, as it can either send you 10 steps forward, 10 steps backward, or even send you right at the beginning. On the other hand, super wormhole is located at an optional path right at the center of the game. A tunnel full of traps of red and killer monster. You do not have to go through this path, but this path can be an excellent shortcut, and it also houses the super wormhole. If you step on the super wormhole, you can literally snatch the superpower card of any one of your opponents. That is crazy, isn't it? These are all the basics you have to keep in mind while playing this game. The sooner you master yourself in the basics, the better you will get at strategizing for the game. To use the superpower cards at the best possible time, to use the alternative path at the time of crisis, and above all, to not give up at any cost. We have played this game so many times and I've seen players win it from a losing position just cause they have strategized it so well. Now, onto the final segment, the third gameplay on the upside down, white versus red. While the opponents with the white gaming pieces aims to reach from the beginning to the end, the red gaming pieces will aim to reach from the end to the beginning. The game ends once all the team members of red or white reach their destination. There is no usage of superpower cards in this game, but players of one team can eat the players of the other team to send them right at the starting tile of their journey. It is highly recommended to play this with more than at least 3 players on each team in order to get a really intense round of the upside down. And that is it, the upside down. We really hope you have a great time playing through the other dimension and enjoy the many twists this game has to offer. If you have any kind of queries or questions, do not hesitate to reach out to the inbox of Crafts or Ace of Spades BD, be it on Facebook or Instagram. Thank you guys, take care.